Sorry, I was having so much fun with the puppets there. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Open Crowdsource. We're back with another episode, although with a slight change to the build guest. And with me, as ever, my two co-hosts, Fred.
Hello.
And Truls.
The hell is up with my hair? Hello.
Well, this is going splendidly for those of you listening to the audio version who can't see any of this craziness.
I've got a big old Jason Priestley going on here. What the fuck?
I've got a leprechaun.
Well, congratulations.
That's about the same thing as Jason Priestley anyway, isn't it? The leprechaun of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Stuffed toys abound for those of you who can't see the visuals, but that will be an incentive for you to get on YouTube next week. I don't know. Anyway, as ever, we have a guest for our shenanigans. Not the original guest. Will O'Neill, unfortunately, cannot be with us because he's had a family emergency. We wish him all the best, but he won't be on. He sends his apologies. But thankfully, you know, we have the connections. We have the people. We have otters on this show, ladies and gentlemen.
We have the technology.
We can do that because, you know, we are just that damn sexy that we just send off an email and everybody agrees to be on the show. We were beating them off with a shitty stick. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, in a change from the original billing, making her way to the show from Canada, all fear the computer engineer and steer clear before it ends in tears, or she will crush you, and all you hold dear. She doesn't take any shit, even if you throw a fit. For your dreams she will deflate, if you misbehave in nation states. The Square Waves co-hostess with the mostest. She doesn't have halitosis, and I know this is poor, but it's the best I could do on short notice.
No kidding.
Like a keyboard smashed in the top left-hand corner, there is no escape. Give it up for the return of Bianca. Ballbuster with a budgie eye. Devins!
Woohoo!
Hey.
How you doing, Bianca?
Welcome back.
Hello. Thanks for having me. Obviously, we flipped a coin today because it was either me or my other co-host.
There's just so many co-hosts in the world now. Everyone has a co-host.
Yeah. Thank you.
Except the kitchen sink.
My hair has a co-host.
Yes, if people remember from the first season, Bianca was on with her husband in what was one of the most manic episodes we've ever done. But it was great fun.
That was kind of chaotic, though, and that's partly why we have you back, because your husband kind of hogged the stage, which I guess is something he does.
It's something he does very well, actually. And there was even a third guest on that show who gets buried every time that show is mentioned. Sean Mills from IQ Adventures was actually on that episode as well. Although I don't blame you for not noticing, because whenever you go to our YouTube page, it just says Brian and Bianca demodulated Devins, and then he's just sort of hidden away. It's not until you actually click on the episode, and then throughout most of the episode, he barely got a word in edgewise anyway. So.
Well, that's Sean Mills for you.
Well, it was very, very early for him.
Yes, he is on that the other side of the earth, the bottom bit.
Yeah, the penal colony.
Yeah.
I said penal.
The guys who have Mel Gibson and dingoes.
Yes.
Again,
Not from one of those cool Commonwealth countries like Canada or the United Kingdom. It's from that penal colony. Well, as you all know, this isn't a game. Well, it is a game, actually. It is a game. It is a show. But what it isn't, ladies and gentlemen, if you're reading the script correctly, what it isn't is it isn't a game show.
Thank God I'm not the only one to fuck up that introduction. It's in big letters on the screen.
We've only done it, what, a dozen times?
Yeah.
Instead, what this is, it's where four people sit down with each other and they brainstorm the next blockbuster adventure game. And if you're listening to this as the head of a major label or as a struggling indie, you're free to take any idea in here and run with it, because after all, it's open crowdsource. Wrong Muppet! Yay! So the rules are simple. The open crowdsource machine will randomly select 4 cards containing a character, a setting, a task, and a modifier. And then we have 30 minutes to sketch out a full-length adventure game from whatever it gives us. Some of the cards are plucked from the classic adventure games and movies of yore, and some aren't. At some point during the show's proceedings, the faceless jerk, the game's producer, he will chime in with a twist that we all have to adhere to, and then we have to change our designs accordingly. Twists come in 2 flavours, major and minor, and we can fully expect that jerk to throw one of each at us. At the end of the half hour, a buzzer will sound, and we will recap what we've designed. We record these live, so if there are people in the chat room, irc.freenode.net #backseatdesigners. We're also on Twitter @BSDesigners. You guys can all get involved and suggest plot points, additions, and of course, most importantly, the title for our masterwork. Okay, you've gone through this before, Bianca, but are you fully understanding of what you've signed yourself up for?
Well, if I didn't understand, I wouldn't be here. So let's have at it.
Good point.
Game for everything, isn't she?
Fred, is the machine ready?
Yes, sir. The machine is currently more ready than Donald Trump's prolapsed anus in a Mexican prison.
Oh, you've been saving that one.
Yeah, but the music kind of justifies it, I feel.
If you say so.
You told me you were going to say that before the show, and it still hit home.
Well, I'll give you this. It's close to the truth. So, what do you? Until that motherfucker builds his wall around the United States, how about I click begin and we get this shit on the road?
Yeah, let's just get this over with. Come on, Fred. A pirate from France must finger bang the Queen.
And he's not even done.
Come on, read the last one.
A pirate from France must finger bang the Queen cheaply.
And of course, when we say the Queen, we do mean the lovely Queen Elizabeth in all her imperialist glory.
Why does it have to be Queen Elizabeth? Why can't it be Marie Antoinette? I mean, if it's going to be France, we might as well go to the, just before the French Revolution. We can have Blackbeard be the one who finger bangs the Queen, and he does it for 1 gold bullion.
Nice.
Is there any possible way that we can interpret finger bang somehow differently as to not veer into Leisure Suit Larry territory? Or
not in my life.
Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to make it nice and family friendly? What's the point?
That's
There's
actually
so much family friendly content out there. Screw the families.
Yeah, and also Richard Cobbett can give us a nice write-up because he seems to have an affinity for this sort of horseshit. Okay. So
why is
and it has to be with his left hand.
why is this pirate finger?
Oh, he froze, didn't he?
He's gone.
Revolution. I didn't. Oh God. Hello, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
So to recap the plot so far, what we're going to do is going to
Exactly. Oh, that was like 10 minutes of 10 seconds of sweet silence.
Hold on, back am I?
Okay, so yeah, we've got a pirate. He's French. Did the French even have pirates? I'm
Yes.
looking at the historian. Yeah, they were pretty piratey.
Yeah, they've got lots of Caribbean islands, lots of cubby holes, hidey holes, smugglers' coves, all that shit.
Yeah, they had privateers, right? So everyone had privateers.
Okay, so we definitely have French pirates. Which queen are we talking about? We've got Elizabeth up in the running. We've got I don't know, the French queen.
Marie Antoinette. Come on, she was hated by the French, and they thought she was a big slut. So why not?
Yeah,
that's actually true.
So, any pirates living concurrently with Marie Antoinette, someone who could ostensibly, be whisked away onto a pirate ship and then locked in the, I was going to say dungeon or maybe the hold until such time as the pirate returns with.
As you know, we're all about realism here.
I was going to say, I don't think we can definitely have a kind of a.
Fuck with real. It could be what's he called, Barbarossa. It could be Blackbeard. It could be a civilian turned pirate who has a political agenda.
Oh, wait.
A pirate from
to
22nd century France who travels back in time to live in the golden age of piracy.
Oh, yeah.
space pirates.
Finger bang Marie Antoinette.
I definitely know where to take this. We're going into one of those, seedy romance novel romance in, quotation marks. For the IRC channel. Michael Council just wrote finger.
Nice.
That is definitely the title.
That's the title.
Yes.
It's a very good title. Peckfinger Piss Flaps, the adventure game.
I knew we invited the right guest on for this show.
The tagline right underneath the title is "Yo ho ho" and a bottle of rum.
Okay, so we have
And a bottle of cognac.
we have
Yo
a
ho
pirate.
ho, listen, cake.
We have a pirate in the late 18th century who needs to finger bang Marie Antoinette cheaply because they need to get somebody in. So how are we going to set that up as a game and actually get to the obviously the conclusion, the climax with Ms. Antoinette?
How are we going to get her to her? How we're going to get her to the climax?
Time travel machines and adventures. What?
Well, that's one idea, certainly, and I like the idea of controlling a pirate protagonist who is also completely mad. He was one of the earliest groupies in history, where he has this immense crush on Marie Antoinette and desperately wants to show her some lovin'. And he sails around the seven seas and conquers this and that, and for some reason Marie Antoinette won't answer his letters, and he's very distraught about that. So finally he decides to return to port and capture Marie Antoinette, bring her to the hold of the ship, and finger bang the hell out of her.
That's
Why?
got potential.
That's the pitch right there.
That's
Which
an
is
idea.
very cheap. It's very cheap to just kidnap someone and throw them in the hold. Now, of course, we have to be sensitive about this issue. We don't want the entirety of Tumblr breathing down our necks, so we have to make this slightly romantic. I mean, he is, after all.
You can finger bang someone lovingly. I mean, if you cut your nails and you make sure you have proper hygiene
And you
you
don't
do
paint
it
your nails
passionately,
black.
then it can be a beautiful thing.
I'm
Probably
pretty sure
wouldn't-
you can finger bang someone with black nail polish.
You're also
Yeah, but that's not nice.
you're also assuming this is a dude.
That's true. Oh, well, okay. We can get
Tumblr,
back into Tumblr's good grace.
Hermaphrodite.
If we make it a female pirate, then Tumblr is gonna love it.
Oh yeah, or just an anthropomorphic parrot. Just well, it's kind of a pirate. It's on a pirate ship.
Anthropomorphic hermaphrodite parrots.
But it has no fingers.
So it's talon banging.
Exactly. It's still you can still treat the talons as fingers
Nah,
because they're used to hold stuff.
Oh, it seems like this is kind of veering off from romantic, sexy
I
comedies
think-
into
so
very
So it
horrific
doesn't have to be
territory.
romantic, sexy. It can just be sexy without romance because he's socially inept.
I don't think anyone will identify with a parrot that wants to bury its talons in someone's cooch.
No, I think we need to move away from the bestiality for a second.
Yeah, I think let's stick with the pirate. Although it could, of course, be a lesbian pirate who dresses as a man because you had to in those days to get on pirate ships, unless you were, of course, captured. She's commanding her own, or maybe she's not even commanding her own ship. Maybe she's just one of the lowly deckhands who has a secret crush on Marie Antoinette. So one of the early puzzles is to convince your captain we have to go back to France. There's something we need to take care of, or at least I do.
I love
We
the
need
guys
more.
on the
We need more wenches for the galley.
I love the guys over on the RC channel because going with the parrot wants to finger bang Marie Antoinette bit. Brian, who is of course Bianca's husband, suggested a possible title. I think Polly Want a Crack. This of course also implies that the parrot may have different ideas as to which hole is to be Well, anyway, let's move on from that idea, shall we?
And no, Kevin, I did not say moldy deckhand. I mean, it's not. She's not covered in mold. It's a lowly deckhand. Lowly.
Swabby!
Because we don't want hygiene issues here. We've already got a very sensitive issue, very romantic issue. Someone's getting finger banged.
Well, everyone had.
Well, there could still be hygiene issues, but this person goes out of their way to clean themselves. And that can be one of the puzzles. How do you get clean?
Ah, and then, as a final twist, it turns out Marie Antoinette has the claps.
She probably did. Everyone had shit hygiene back then. Like even the nobility were like, "Oh, I take a bath once a year when I remember."
Well, she was pretty randy before she got that career-ending neck injury.
Oh yeah. So this is maybe even as sort of a secondary, let's say, motivation for kidnapping Marie Antoinette is that you've somehow gotten intel that there's a revolution coming, and you desperately want to take her away from that, and also finger bang her.
Maybe the reason she hasn't been answering your letters of affection is that she's in prison, which was something that genuinely happened. So she wouldn't have been able to answer the letters. Because she was busy sitting in a cell being spat on and all kinds of horrible shit.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. You start out the game. You've been on this ship for God knows how long. You've been sending her all these romantic letters, and she hasn't responded to a single one of them.
I want to put my ear in you.
And all of a sudden, you do get a letter from her, but it says, "Hi, you've written me so many letters, I'm already sick of you, but I've been imprisoned, so please come and save me." And you go, "Right, time to scoop up milady," and yeah.
Scoop up with 2 fingers.
So it's kind of like a randy.
Not a fucking bowling ball.
It's kind of like a randy version of Assassin's Creed. Then you've got to battle your way through France, which is the middle of a civil war, to get to Marie Antoinette before she gets killed.
I would play a randy version of Assassin's Creed.
It's got nobility and smut all rolled into one.
Since he's still alive, can it star the voice talents of Sean Connery as the pirate?
Haven't we already had Sean Connery on this show once?
Yeah, but you can never have enough Sean Connery.
I think most of his wives would disagree. Sorry, Bianca, what was that?
No, forget Sean Connery. Our pirate's Patrick Stewart.
Oh, that's an inspired casting. If only because it's wonderful to hear the voice of Jean-Luc Picard say "finger bang."
After
And
a lovely cup of Earl Grey tea to share with his lady.
Tea.
Brian,
Earl Grey, hot.
Brian is reminding us, of course, that he needs to be able to get back to France cheaply.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, you're on a pirate ship, and are we still going with the fact that you're not actually the captain? You're just a lowly deckhand, not moldy, who has snuck onto the ship dressed as a man, and has been part of the crew for God knows how long, but has a secret lesbian crush on Marie Antoinette? Because I like that.
We could drop the facade long enough to go in and seduce the captain in order to fulfill our ambitions, and in the process assassinate the captain, and then steal the captain's garb, and impersonate the captain in order to drive the ship back to France.
There you go.
Can you do that cheaply? Yeah, I suppose you can.
That is pretty cheap.
You don't have to pay any money. You just have to get the captain drunk and seduce him, and the rum's already on the boat. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. True.
Also, I really like Kevin's Romance on the High Seas title, although I have to go with Brian's Assassin's Cream.
Yeah, peck finger. I like. Well, we can probably combine those two. Assassin's Cream, peck finger, piss flaps. And kids in GameStop stores all over the world are picking up this box and just going, "What the hell is this?" Starring the talents of Sir Patrick Stewart.
I think it's a little early to start casting, but I do like the idea of Patrick Stewart. At least we could put Patrick Stewart in the captain's voice role, because then you get to listen to Mr. Stewart being seduced by a deckhand wearing men's garbs, and then killed.
Well, I wanted to say Joe Frazier, but that's not what he's called. The guy who played Will Riker on The Next Generation, Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan Frakes.
Could play the male impersonation voice of the pirate. So it's actually number one seducing the captain.
Will Wheaton tells
Don't
a story.
fulfill my fanfiction fantasies right now, please.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, you've been on fanfiction.net lately, because Jesus Christ.
Good point.
Okay, so anyway, we've got kind of a skeleton of a plot here, but once you actually get to France, then what? Marie Antoinette's locked up in a dungeon somewhere, and you have to swoop in and save her.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty
you're
much.
impersonating captain, and so you can probably talk to someone high-ranking to get through them, and probably someone high-ranking in the revolution.
But you're a pirate, so they
But
might not be too thrilled to see your ass.
But I guess you would have to conspire with some of the people who instigated the revolution, like the civilians of Paris, the peasants, the lower and middle classes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so...
And
So
so
they're-
you have to get to Paris, but you have to do a bunch of menial tasks along the way, such as fetching piles of hay or, gooseberries or
quests.
something. Exactly.
I left a bottle of wine in a city that's about 40 kilometers away from here. Now, why would you do that? Shut up and get it for me. I won't help you.
Were the I'm looking at the historian again, where the civilians of France, were they particularly good on good terms with the pirates of France? They weren't too happy with the government, obviously.
Well,
I guess they were. Sorry.
hashtag not my area, but also this is after the golden age of piracy.
Right.
But I mean, I suppose they'd always be happy to get some cheap goods. One of the reasons for the revolution was the high taxation by the king, not just in terms of income tax, but also in terms of we've got a twist. The director's daughter just started dating. He wants all male characters emasculated immediately.
Done.
This is going to cause us some issues.
That actually fits surprisingly well.
Yes, it does. I suppose. No, it's quite. Emasculate sounds so wrong, but maybe we could make the king a complete pussy, and I don't know.
He was a complete pussy.
He actually was. The
Yeah.
rumor is that he was. He was unable to fulfill his wife sexually, the story goes. Which is probably why she was a bit of a
for them to
slut.
get into bed.
This is going to be a mail order game, isn't it? And I don't mean mail, M-A-L-E. I'm gonna. Okay, cool. Okay, once we get to France, we sweeten up the deal with some locals who can tell us where Marie Antoinette is being held. But you have to make a convincing case, because why would you free the little bitch who caused all this mayhem in the first place? And what is up with my hair?
Who says we're freeing
get
her?
the-
We just want to finger bang her.
Yeah, you
That's
have
She
true.
to.
thinks we're freeing her.
You have to make a convincing case in order to get into her convincing case.
Yes.
I've never heard it called that before.
And we have to get to her before they behead her. We don't have to actually free her. Just get her to her before she gets to the guillotine and does.
Actually, maybe we can have alternate endings, because her losing her head would not necessarily. I know this is grim, but it would not necessarily prevent that you're able to.
Thank you. I'm glad
do
somebody
what
else
you
said it,
wanna
because I was
do.
thinking it very loudly. I'm not cool.
What-
It's a hole.
What's really horrible is that Fred speaks so slowly, and you know where he's going with this, but you can't stop him.
It's like that scene from Austin Powers where the roller is just coming towards the henchman.
Oh yeah. That's
Okay, I actually think. Okay, is it time to start sketching out ideas for game mechanics? Because again, I'm just going straight up 2D point and click.
Yeah, you do that normally. I'm thinking this was this would actually work very well as an Assassin's Creed clone, obviously with more emphasis on adventure as opposed to action. So basically a third-person adventure game.
I like both of those ideas. However, I'm going to throw another one into the mix. There's a lot of wordplay going on here, so I wonder whether a kind of some kind of parser interface would allow you to get a really rich kind of.
We could do a text adventure, because this enables us to do You guys have probably read erotic novels. Let's not fool ourselves here. Some of the wording in that kind of literature is just is demented beyond words. I mean, some of the synonyms that people will come up with are amazing.
Do you think we could license the old Legend Entertainment text adventure engine, the one they used for Eric the Unready, where you do have a piece of graphic, but then you have the parser interface, and you have a list of verbs on the left-hand side?
We probably could if we don't tell them what the game is.
They were pretty epic on wordplay and sexual innuendo back in Legend. I mean, they hired Joshman and Dell, for fuck's sake.
That's true.
So let's go with that text adventure with static graphics. I quite like that throwback, actually. And what to rake in the modern audience bits, the static image could actually be a lovingly rendered 3D depiction of France. Oh shit, Gareth found something for us.
Oh, let me just log on to him for a minute.
Anyone want to describe that for our listeners of the audio version, please?
Well, it's basic. I believe it's Robespierre. Am I correct?
You are, yeah.
And he appears in a meme where the text is "You're here to fingerbang the queen. Too late, mon ami."
I refuse to believe that someone with a quaff like that has such a gravelly voice. He's more like, "You here to fingerbang the queen?"
Oh yeah, he's probably a bit more feminine.
He did viciously murder thousands of people.
There is that, but he's got fantastic hair.
Whoever people wanted to finger bang, if he'd gotten his mittens on him, it was always too late.
Oh, and Kevin Wallace is.
I suppose I could let you have the lower half.
Yes, I will murder you and fingerbang you right after I finish this cigarette. Kevin over on the IRC channel goes, a return to parser. This game is played only with your fingers.
I like that.
Touch typing recommended.
Touch screen on tablet and other Android devices.
Yeah, they're screwed. Literally.
Well, we could. It would make sense to do this with touch.
Well, actually, there is a point because I have a feeling most people are going to be playing this on the Lou anyway.
Probably.
And we need one puzzle where you actually use both fingers for the to solve it.
The final puzzle.
Oh dear God! Slide upwards to. Oh good God! Of course, it's a text adventure that runs on tablets, and then you just furiously go.
Well, you could do it quite like Leisure Suit Larry 7 actually, where you do have the piece of graphic. You click on a verb and you can type. No, you click on the object and you can type in a verb of your own choosing, or you can select from a list. That would make it pretty good for tablets, and also you could do gestures.
The game would probably be pulled from the market very quickly because the end scene results in players breaking their own fingers.
But I've got that solved. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like Apple would have an issue with the standards or something like that. But no, I've got that one covered at least because I know for a fact that Microsoft are just aching to get anything out on their fucking devices, so they will welcome this with open arms.
That's true.
Yeah, so we've got a game mechanic. We've got a story. How does the story end? Do you? I like the idea of alternate endings. I'm not sure I'm sold on the finger banging a corpse thing, but I suppose we can put that in for the sickos.
You don't get there in time, and so you approach the executioner and say, "Hey, let me take away that corpse for you." Now, of course, or you can choose to take the head. So it doesn't really matter what you finger bang. You get a hole either way.
There probably isn't a static screen of graphics for that. It just fades to black, and then you just hear the sound.
The squishing sound. Dear God. I just like the idea of the protagonist showing up with a wheelbarrow on the market square going, "Can I help you with that?" And just roll her away, fade to black. Thank you.
Bum bum.
Which thankfully eliminates the gestures, the finger gestures.
Yeah. We don't want to do that.
And good old Michael Council over on the IRC channel has just regurgitated that old Sierra chestnut. You're not close enough.
I don't understand that word. What does that word mean?
Go south. You can't go any further south. I'm so glad we finally came up with a game idea that the IRC channel can get right in there.
Guys,
You can go further south on this.
guys,
Something you
we're
something-
done. We're done here. You know how in the the French Revolution was in the 18th century, but as they moved into the 19th century, people were printing more. They were getting more involved with various things. You know, they would print whatever there was a market for.
Oh.
This is 19th century fanfic. This is, I shit you not, a picture of Marie Antoinette from that period.
You're kidding me, right? Aren't
Oh,
you?
let's lock this room. And that is our deckhand.
We have a title, we have a tagline, we have a cover.
Cover art. This is the most. This is the most
Can you like
complete.
we have to Photoshop this for the blog post. Can you imagine a big white box that the games would come
Please
in?
stop. Play a big white box. No, she was very demure. Please have some respect.
Yeah, you have Marie Antoinette's box on the box, and then you have in big golden letters above it, probably slightly embossed, kind of block.
Sorry, I'm getting some pullback on my end. Like suddenly got a very close up of somebody's face.
Well, that was extremely fascinating. How would we do this without a historian in our midst?
Yeah, I don't know. This is fabulous. This is actually a literary throwback. This is a very academic, literary, historical throwback to the early press of France in the 19th century, except with more tits and finger banging.
You know, the great thing is that if people complain, we can just point them to that picture and say, "Well, you're the French. You did it first."
All right, so with 5 minutes to go,
Right.
Bianca, do you have anything that you want to add to these proceedings? Because I have a feeling, the boys' club over here is just going.
I threw gasoline on the fire early. I'm just sitting here enjoying this right now.
This has all been about us going.
Exactly.
There's a very Beavis and Butthead kind of feel to this.
And never ever take a screenshot of that. In fact, let's edit it out. Let's break our rule and edit it out.
Oh, I think Gareth is on it already.
Guys,
Yeah, so-
I found a picture. I shit you not. This is 19th century fanfic.
If you're going with multiple endings, you need an ending where he gets into the cell, and then that's when it fades to black, and you still get the squishy.
Oh my God! Please do yourselves a favor and look at the RC channel and at Michael Council's latest suggestion.
History comes
alive in this
Quote-
new BSD classic. And it's the spelling that gets me every time.
Quote Richard Cobbett.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely need him to be the spokesperson for the for the Kickstarter, the inevitable Kickstarter, of course. One thing, actually, we were getting into the endgame thing, and I quite like the idea that either you abscond with the object of your affection, and then you end up finger banging her on your pirate ship, or you can actually get captured and end up finger banging her the night before she gets beheaded or some shit like that.
Or you can finger bang her frozen corpse.
There's a secret Easter egg ending where you basically wheel her away in a wheelbarrow and then finger bang the hell out of her in a sewer.
Just go, well, you can't win every single time.
Rolls up his sleeve. Oh, you mad person. All right.
Oh, okay. We've got ourselves the final twist here. We're strapped for cash on this project, guys. Find a way to seamlessly integrate micropayments. Well,
we've already established that we have some touch-friendly scenes where you basically do the deed. I guess you only have so many thrusts unless you pay. Otherwise, you have to wait 24 hours.
You pay for the privilege of being able to watch it. It doesn't just fade to black.
Yeah, I like that. The more you pay into the game, the more uncensored it becomes. So you have to sort of, a credit card is needed to unlock the sexy.
Yeah.
Or the visual sexy at least. Also, I had a different idea, or let's just build on that idea. Once you get to France, you of course have to buy intel. You have to convince people to do your evil bidding and such. And puzzles become much easier when you can just pay your way out of solving puzzles instead of.
We also have a very good idea from Brian over on the RSC channel that we get a cunnilingus add-on called "Let Them Eat Kate."
Kate? Who's Kate?
I guess Kate is a character that only shows up if you buy the DLC.
The DLC is not the same as micropayments.
No, it's not.
That is true. That is true. But it's in the same vein. It's from the same evil spirit.
But we could arguably introduce some sort of mechanic in the game once you get to France that you have to sort of get this little band of people together who are on your side and who will distract guards, break into the jailhouse, whatever, get her the fuck out of there.
Can we have a circus midget kind of person?
Of course, that's
and a guy on stilts.
And in the most ironic twist, the midget costs the most.
I don't work cheap.
That's it. I can hear Tumblr breathing down our necks. This is
It's obviously going nowhere, but I love the idea of us doing a pitch video. We go, help us to kickstart this game so that we can kickstart the Queen.
Actually, Richard Cobbett has to say that. This game is not going anywhere unless we get Richard Cobbett to do the Kickstarter.
Well, this game is not going anywhere, period.
No, I actually quite like it, and I'm looking forward to, in 25 seconds, to have Bianca recap.
Okay, you want me to recap now, or in 25 seconds?
We've still got 15 seconds of design to go.
Yeah, and actually, it does tie in pretty well with the micropayments that you have to finger bang the Queen cheaply, although you don't have to. You can pay your way to do it.
Cheap for the character, not cheap for the player. That's
exactly
the irony.
Which could also be the tagline.
A very appropriate noise to end what has been one of the most puerile shows we have ever done.
Yay!
Well, in our defense,
Totally
the French had already done it first all by themselves.
Yeah, that is. We should actually just make that the tagline for these episodes. Yep, fuck it, the French did it first.
Ultimately, if you believe in the concept of reincarnation, it was probably us all along.
I think France has gone through enough in the past month or so without having that thrown upon it as well.
Well, it's going to be at least a year before we can get this off on the road. They'll be back to good. Okay, I just want to throw in a quick one from the RSC channel right now.
Okay.
We're not designing anymore, and we're not going to go with this idea. Sorry, Kevin, but I just have to bring it up because it's a laugh. With microtransactions, you want friction, so you have to pay to remove said friction. So the ending puzzle becomes that much harder to. All right, fair enough. Let's. I return the spotlight to you, dear host.
Bianca, if anyone can, could you summarize how you see the game now? As you see it, how do you think the game is?
Okay, let's see. So we've got this lowly swabby from France who's aboard a pirate ship in the late 18th century and has been writing letters to Marie Antoinette in the hopes of fulfilling her dreams. Mind you, this is a girl dressed in guy's garb because she couldn't get on the ship otherwise. And so she finally gets a letter back beseeching her to come and rescue the poor queen who's been locked up. And so she has to somehow convince the captain to take the ship back to port in France. In order to do this, she seduces and kills the captain, takes his clothes, and impersonates the captain, eventually getting the ship back to France. In order to eventually get to the capital where Marie is being held, she and her motley crew engage the aid of various peasants along the way, fulfilling numerous fetch quests. And eventually you get to the capital and you can achieve any number of endings, with your ultimate goal being to finger bang the queen. You can either kidnap her and finger bang her on your ship, get into her cell after being captured and finger bang her there, or you just don't get there in time and you manage to find a wheelbarrow and you come up to the guillotine just after she's freshly executed, and you can request either the head or the body, and then as you're walking away, the screen fades to black, and you hear squishing sounds. And we have, of course, our micropayments, which unlock and uncensor various aspects of the game, including the squishy part with the Easter egg, and unlock friction for you, and make various puzzles easier, even though, ironically, you're supposed to be doing this on the cheap.
Well, I can't disagree with any of that, especially choosing which end, depending on whether you arrive late or not after
that was a new one, but I'm willing to accept it personally.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Pony agrees as well. And Kevin, of course, says over in the IRC channel, it's a good thing nobody had add a pony in for the microtransactions, because where are we going with that one?
You hear squishing sounds, and then you hear a by the end of it.
That's a horrifying thought.
Although it's your money, you can do whatever. Right, so that was actually a very spot-on recap, and
that was
Gareth looks like he's gasping for air at this point.
He was dying already before we went on air. Imagine how he's doing now.
Precisely. Well, I suppose the question is, would you buy this game?
Oh, hell yeah. But I'm not buying a Windows phone. I'm getting this thing on, well, probably not Steam. They're not going to let it on. GOG is not going to let it on. That the itch.io thing, they'll take anything, right?
I suppose. Well, if it came in a brown paper bag, I might buy it. Or if I could hide it from my banking history.
It comes along.
I wouldn't need a brown paper bag. It'd fit right in with my manga, so I'm good to go.
Oh. And also, when you buy it from the online store, it just has sporting equipment.
Sporting equipment. Your secret is safe with us. Happy finger banging.
Well, the French did it first.
Yeah, the French did certainly do it first.
Oh, yeah.
Gareth, the point where I think going any further is futile. With that, and with everything else that has gone on, je suis désolé.
Moi aussi.
Right, that is very much it for this episode of Open Crowdsource. Before we go, we are contractually obliged and also genuinely very, very thankful to Michael Consul, who has very generously donated to the Backseat Designers Patreon fund. We've very much enjoyed the photographs of him watching the show with his mates at home, so thank you very much, Michael. Next week we have Lauralee Shannon, who will be on the show. That will kick off Sunday afternoon if you're this side of the Rocky Mountains. Do check your YouTube page for the local time.
Yeah, you're on.
Thank you to... We'll be fine. Thank you to our esteemed guest, Bianca, for your, and the otters, and every other stuffed animal that has taken part today. Thank you very much for the IRC channel, because you guys have... I thought you were on form last week, but this week you seem to have taken it to another level again. So thank you very much to you guys, and you can, if you want to join in with that madness, please do check the page, which you can do, backseatdesigners.com. That's where you can find the details of the IRC channel, so you can take part next week if you want to, and all the other details about the show are there, including the home edition of the Open Crowdsource machine, so you can play the game for yourself and avoid much of what has just happened.
Why would they want to avoid this fun? This is the fun part.
Why would they?
Drinks would have to be involved for sure.
My employers might see this, and I need as many caveats as I could possibly throw in.
Well, if they see it, it's your fault for showing them.
That's true.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's my own fault. You will also find our Twitter, our Facebook, our YouTube, and most importantly, all of the links so you can subscribe to the various shows which are produced by our studio at backseatdesigners.com. Say goodbye, Fred.
Say ra and goodbye.
Say goodbye, trolls.
Goodbye, and Bianca might want to plug something. I don't know.
Yes, I was getting to that. So,
I'm
Bianca,
sorry.
before we say goodbye to Bianca, is there anything that you wish to plug?
It has nothing to do with the subject of the game. It's only plug.
Oh, why? Do you have a butt plug you want to share with us? I am so sorry. Well, actually, I have no regrets. I'm not sorry. But I don't have anything I want to plug.
How about your podcast? Okay, never mind. Okay, I'll say it for you then. Square Waves FM.
Is podcast also slang for, you know?
I didn't say plugcast. I said podcast. Everyone should go listen to Square Waves FM at squarefmdemodulated.com. It's fantastic. It's mostly 3-hour-long episodes, and it's run by Bianca here and her husband Brian. And it's a great show. I've been on it a couple of times, and they're very nice people. And don't go on about ponies and finger banging queens and stuff.
Well, that means I'm not going to listen if there's no finger banging and no ponies.
Yeah, I know which one I prefer as well, but hey.
I think this has run its course. Goodbye, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.